Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Leo's Coast to Coast. And now, broadcasting live by the light of a single swinging bulb, deep in an underground bunker marked only by a nondescript entrance, somewhere in rural Oregon. Don't even try to find him. Don't even try. Here's Larry with this week's guest.
Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast and from sea to shining sea. Welcome. Hi, Middle Tennessee. Hello, my friends that are all over the world today. I heard from already. Look at this before we even start. This is great. Hello, Ohio. Tell us which state, province, or country you're checking out the show from, and we'll give you a shout. Officer George Ishak, welcome back. Good to see you, brother. Jill Carey, Lee Terry, Kenna Ryan. Hello there. Hello, Karen. Hello, Carrie. Hi, Freddie. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Sunday, live PD chat. Thought we'd have a little fun today. How about those shows this weekend, huh? Not too bad. Not too shabby. I still love the part on Saturday night where, Friday night, where yesterday's guest, if you remember from Friday night, it was pretty darn cool. We had Lieutenant Murphy recognized by that old couple. They were so cute, and they just couldn't stop talking about how sweet he was. So, hello, South Carolina, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Ontario, Canada. Welcome to the show. Greenville, South Carolina is here. Hello, Brad. Welcome to the show. What were y'all's thoughts on this weekend's live PD? We're going to talk about that and a whole bunch more. But first, I want to share with you something. I want to share with you a question. What do you think is the number one problem that the law officers on live PD deal with on a Friday, Saturday night basis? What do you think is number one? Give me your thoughts. I'd like to know in comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. The number one thoughts are that the live PD officers have to deal with on a weekly basis. Curious about that. Because it may not be what you think it is. It may not be what you think it is. This is a laid-back show, as you can tell. I'm just kind of not dressed in the tie. Did you know that I wear jeans with the tie and the shirt? It's a little story. It was exciting, Officer George. Yes, it was. It was great as always. Brad, thank you for sharing that. What do you think the number one problem is that live PD officers deal with, and officers deal with all over the country right now? Not just live PD, folks. This isn't just related to live PD, but what do you think the number one issue is that law enforcement officers deal with right now? What do you think it is? So there we go. Safety, DUI, uncooperative suspects, people attitude, drugs and alcohol, Jill Bemmy with probably weed. These are good answers. These are great answers. Here's a great example. A great example of some problems that law enforcement deal with all the time. And I mean all the time. Hi, Sister Cello. I love my sister Cello in Oklahoma. She's here today. Welcome, Cello. And yes, Carrie, disrespect. That's part of it too. DJ, thanks for coming back. Good to see you again. Number one, drugs. Is that what you believe? Let's take a look and see what maybe is the number one issue that live PD officers and deputies, and troopers deal with most often in their shifts.
Oh, yeah.
Got that for you.
We're live in Williamson County, Texas, where moments ago deputies questioned a man driving without a license plate.
Kind of panicked.
Hey, buddy, what's your name?
Deputy Jones from the sheriff's office.
You been arrested for anything? No? You turn it right there, right? Can I ask you what your mask is for?
Yeah, yes, sir. I'm allergic to the sun. I wear it.
Allergic to the sun
on my face.
All right. So you wear that over your mouth or over your eyes?
Over my mouth.
Okay.
Yeah, I get sunspot.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Over in your mouth?
Yeah, I get real bad sunspot. It gives me like fever.
What's that called? What's the medical term for it?
I call them sunspots. I just get sunspots.
You've been like that your whole life, or you
Yes,
just
sir.
got diagnosed with it?
No, I've always, it's just from freckles and everything.
Where are you headed to?
I'm going back to my house.
Where's that?
It's on East Anderson.
Okay. Where are you just coming from?
I was coming from a friend's apartment to see if he wanted to come with me to drop some stuff off. He did not want to go.
Where y'all dropping off?
We were going to go pick up some lumber for like $50. He didn't want to go. That means basically work.
And you don't have your driver's license on you?
No, sir.
So, man, what that does us, it keeps you out here longer. It keeps you out here longer.
Yes, sir. I understand.
And we got to verify who you are.
Yes, sir. I was going back and forth. Yes, sir.
And state law requires you to have it when we ask for it.
Yes, sir.
You smell beer in here?
I smell alcohol.
You hadn't been drinking at all, have you? No?
I haven't been drinking, no, sir. There's no...
Have you spilled alcohol in here in the past or something?
Yeah, I've been trying to clean the floor because it got wet. It got like wet from the rain.
Are you okay, man? Like you're just bad.
It's like 100 degrees.
You're dripping sweat. Well, I'm wearing a vest.
I understand, yes, sir. I'm very warm.
So yeah, I mean, I'm talking. The sweat is just pouring off you right now, brother.
Yes, sir. I'm just very. It's hot. I'm getting pulled over. I don't know what I did. Like I've had multiple times. I've talked to law enforcement, and I've never heard that I couldn't have a license plate on the front. I mean, that's crazy.
What's your last name? Okay. All right. Hey, I'm just smelling alcohol. You want to pull him out, just check his eyes real quick, just to be sure. All right, man. Here's what I'm asking you to do because you're smelling alcohol.
So we're smelling alcohol within the vehicle, and I'm not sure if it's coming from his person or if it's just from the vehicle. Maybe he might have spilled some in it. But he's just pouring sweat right now.
Okay. Can I pass it down for weapons?
Get on the ground! Got one fighting. Taser. Taser. Oh! Lay down, lay over. Lay over. Lay down. Hit him again. Taser the point. Give me your hands. You got my hands. You better not reach for nothing. Please stop. Stop. Please stop. Get on your face now. On your face now. On your face. Get off me. I got it.
Don't reach for nothing. All right, let's try and roll towards Camden. I got his left foot. Roll over. Stop fighting. Roll over. Roll over. His right arm is still underneath you.
Let's get the left.
Got him? Still got him. Stop fighting. Get the taser on him. You're going to get tasered. No, stop. It takes twice. Give me a hand. No. Hand. Stop fighting. Lose your gun. He's right. Come on. We need that right hand.
I got it.
Give me your hand.
Hold on, I can't get it on.
All right, one other. I got him. Just all right. Bring it down. Ah! He's not going in there. He's not.
Start EMS.
Ready?
Start EMS. Good. Let him up. everybody okay? Is everybody okay?
Shut this area down. On his arms, not his chest.
So, ends up that this guy was sweating really, really bad. Because he was either wanted, for some strange reason, he didn't want us to take custody of this guy. He immediately started fighting my, I'm going to suspect that he's probably high on some sort of narcotics, extremely strong. I was able to get a carotid restraint around his neck and was able to hold him, put him out for a second. So these guys were able to take him under control. He's still pretty combative, as you can see. I want to make sure that all our officers are safe at this point.
And there you go. Yep, that's it. That's it right there. The number one, drugs. That's it. And that's something that's really too bad. I was watching your comments as we're going on. I saw Jill Bemmy say tasers have little effect on people when they're on meth and drugs like that. We're going to bring somebody in who is on that call. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Got that for you.
You looked carefully there. There were two of them. I'll give you one more shot.
Oh, yeah.
Got that for you.
All right. Two of them. Now we're going to bring one of them on. You're my buddy, so I got to call you my buddy. Deputy J.J. Johnson from Williamson County, Texas. Surprise, everybody.
How y'all doing? It's great to be back with you, Larry.
Oh, it's so good to have you back, man. So good to have you back. So many people are excited. DJ, I was right, what he thought. Yep. DJ, you were right. Drugs, the number one problem these guys deal with on an everyday basis. How bad do you think it is across the country right now, Deputy Johnson, dealing with drug issues?
It's bad. I was recently talking to some school resource officers that are stationed in schools in another county, and it's worse in the schools than it's ever been. It's a growing epidemic, and drugs change. The makeup changes so fast, and marijuana was a big thing forever, and now it's meth. It's all the opioids, the PCPs, heroin's making a comeback. Seems like cocaine, the designer drugs, but it's moving faster than we can keep up with it. We're really proactive here in Williamson County, and through how public we are and how proactive we are, we try and deter it just by being out, making traffic stops, making contacts, being in our schools, being at events after we get off work, and just letting people know we're not going to tolerate it here. So.
Very good. We're live with surprise Deputy J.J. Johnson from Williamson County, Texas. I asked this man, I said, hey, could you do me a favor? Could you surprise everybody and come on? And he's like, yes, absolutely, I'll do it.
Absolutely.
You're a good man. You're a good man. Lots of people very excited to see you. Carrie 2970. Hey, Deputy J.J. Johnson from Boston, Massachusetts. Lee Terry, thank you for being here, Deputy J.J. Brad Pigeon, hello, Deputy Johnson. Lee Terry's known about this one for a while. Williamson County's her favorite, so I had to tell her. She's one of our moderators, so she got really excited. So, yeah, a lot of people really excited to see you. If you have time for some questions from some folks?
I would love some questions.
Well, there you go. All right. You got two ways to do it. You can call us on the phone, 503-420-4062, or you can put them on the screen. All right, DJ, Boston, Massachusetts asks the question from Deputy Johnson. Do you carry extra taser cartridges in your vehicle after you use one cartridge?
No, our tasers are equipped with one that's ready to deploy and a backup on the bottom. So I typically have two on the actual device. And once I deploy those two, we issue them out in twos. Then we have to go back through our quartermaster or our chain of command just to keep the chain of custody. We don't want to give out too many and they get lost so it's two at a time. I choose to carry two. So once I deploy one, I'll take my backup and put it ready to deploy, and I'll replace that backup one. So I always have two with me, and I encourage all of our deputies to at least keep two.
There you go. Live with Deputy J.J. Johnson from Williamson County, Texas. What a lot of you folks don't know about this man that I do know is his heart. I know a lot about this man's heart. In the background, the stuff you don't see, on the Williamson County Twitter page. For those of you who maybe don't know it or aren't familiar with it, this man takes a lot of time to take pictures of other people. He makes sure that everybody else is included. The shy ones, the ones who are quiet, but the ones who work just as hard as he does. And he wants to make sure that they get the credit as well. JJ, that's really important to you, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I like capturing we're making memories, and we never know what tomorrow or the next call holds. And so if opportunity presents itself, I do it. I was never in the pictures.
I know.
Ever.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And I just kind of started, especially after having kids, but never at work. And we have a good thing going up here. And I don't know if there's a moment to capture it, whether we're working out or we're training or in the gym or with the SWAT team. I always take them because you never know what tomorrow is. So.
And that's what I think a lot of people don't realize. And I wanted to make sure we got out in the show here is that you guys do an awful lot of photos on Twitter, and many of those photos come from you because you're taking pictures of everybody else, but very few of yourself. You're a real humble guy, and I admire that in you. I really do. You're very special, JJ. You really are. Jill Bemmy, you're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. Jill Bemmy, great comment. Tasers have little effect when people are on meth and drugs like that. They almost become superhuman, don't they?
They do. I'm actually a taser instructor. So I certify other deputies, new deputies, to legally use these things. Statistically, they're about 50% effective. You factor in clothing, you factor in their metabolism, whether they're on alcohol or this guy later admitted that he was on PCP. I stay in the gym. I stay fit for the job. I try to best I can. This guy was strong. Luer is an extremely strong human. And for anyone to be tased multiple times and stand up with people hanging on them, we knew that it was more than that. We knew that before we made contact, physical contact, with just by the way he was acting. We just didn't know what he was on. But
Gotcha.
yeah, he had no effects on him.
Wow. Live with Deputy J.J. Johnson from Williamson County, Texas. I know that the audio is a little bit not quite matching him. It's just the way the Twitter works. I'm sorry, that YouTube works sometimes. So it's one of those things. Officer George Ishak. I always like to get him in. He's a good guy. He has a question for you. And this is such a funny question. I love it, though. What type of video games do you like to play when you get home?
I don't play video games, unfortunately. I don't play any.
Yep. I don't really either. I've got a ton of games. I've got to tell you truthfully, JJ, a ton of games, and they're all unopened. No joke. Weird. Lee Terry, what are some of the latest Wilco pranks that we don't know about?
Deputy Ginger. I like pranking Deputy Ginger. So
he's a target.
I'll change his background on his computer towards me or another Deputy Johnson that works with us. I like messing with his stuff, and so it sets him off, and he'll be having his coffee, and he'll eventually realize that something's different. So I try to keep him on his toes.
I mess with my brother. I don't know if I should share this or not. Probably not. But there's a kind of a real growing thing out there where people like to watch certain videos. I put weird videos on my brother's iPad. So he'll go off and have to use the bathroom or whatever. And they'll come on back to his, where he sits. And right there on his iPad, it's like a strawberry shortcake video or something. He'll be like, it's pretty funny. All right. Carrie 2970. Good stuff. And we'll get to you, Brad. I got you. I see what you said. Watching the race and listening to the show race in a rain delay. Do you have a favorite driver in NASCAR?
Brad Keselowski. I watched it. I was looking at it before this, and I saw the rain delay. I saw the president go out and take the opening lap. I thought that was pretty cool. But Brad Keselowski is one of my favorites, who I've always kept up with.
Very good. Live with Deputy J.J. Johnson, Williamson County, Texas. Brad Pigeon says, I have to leave in just a minute. Y'all enjoy. Thank you, Brad, for joining the show. We appreciate you being a part of the Leo's Coast to Coast family so much. Carrie 2970, ha, ha, ha. Deputy Ginger is the easy target, LOL. Jill Bemmy, what's one of the funnier calls you've been on?
One that pops in mind right away was a live PD moment. A lady was out in the city of Austin, but within the county of Wilco, and she was capturing sick raccoons. And I could not wrap my head around why she was doing it, and why she wasn't calling. We have animal control, we have game wardens, we have a lot of things, but why anybody would get off work and go out at nighttime to try and capture a rabid raccoon of all animals. So,
Kitty, kitty, kitty,
I know.
Sorry. Couldn't resist. Oh, man. Lee Terry asks, have you been in the bite suit before, and do you remember which canine it was with?
I was not in the full bite suit, but I did get bit a couple of times by Canine Nemo, and his handler is Deputy Durner. And I had this sleeve on my arm, and I'm phobic about dogs, and I didn't used to be until I got into law enforcement. And we don't always deal with the nicest people, and I've had dogs, pit bulls, and large aggressive dogs sent after me and other deputies before several times. And I think that's just made me phobic. And so when Durner brought him in to train with our SWAT team, I thought I would help myself in face of fear, and I volunteered to be bit. And I did a few times, and I'm still scared of dogs.
You know what? Good for you for facing your fears, man. Hey, that's a lot. That really is. People, think of your biggest fear. Mm-hmm. It's amazing when you think about your biggest fear. And that brings up another question from Carrie 2970. Great questions from Carrie today. How are you with snakes?
I don't like snakes, and I don't like spiders. The country boy as I am, I've never grown to like them. I've worked around them, lived them, on land, multiple acres, and had to deal with them, but I do not care for them.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, it's the same thing. We had Lieutenant Murphy on yesterday, and he said, no, that's it. You get me around snakes, I'm in the closet. I'm hiding. I'm in the car. I'm hiding. I don't like it. Same thing with Inspector Soroka. Yeah, same thing. Same thing with me. I just wet myself, and that's the end of Larry. And they say, well, that's where he fell. Yeah, that's the last time we ever saw the guy. Carrie White says, any of your favorite canines going to be on America Top Dog?
Well, we had Deputy Pence and Deputy Duvall were both on there. I think they both placed second throughout the whole show. And I don't know if they have any others lined up to go in the future. I'm very busy in my division, and our canine cadre is super busy. And so it's only in passing when I get to bump into them or use them if we have a SWAT mission and they come out and help us after the fact, then we'll talk and go from there. But right now, I don't know of anything else coming up. They did make me really proud to see Wilco represented on that show, and our dogs did really good.
Yeah. Well, Wilco was very well represented. Very well represented. Nice moment there. Nice little presentation by Sheriff Chody to Deputy Pence. That was beautiful. I loved that on Twitter. I thought it was really cool and good for her. I mean, my goodness, her and mine. I wants to say Cato, and I can't. And I know it's not Cato. Sorry, help me.
With Deputy Duvall, it is. Yeah, it is Canine Cato.
It is Cato. I was saying that, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. Okay, her and Cato really did quite well, and gosh darn it, good for them. I was happy for them. I know Lee Terry was too. She really loves that show. It's a good thing. And
let me correct myself. Yes. It was Deputy Pence's dog is Fuse, and Deputy Duvall's dog is Cato, and they were both on the show.
The Bomb Dog. Yeah, I should have remembered that because I was thinking Bomb Dog, but I couldn't think of the name, and I'm like, Cato. No, that's not it. Thank you very much. All right, DJ, where you come up with these questions today? You're rolling. What's a very scary call you've been on? We won't say maybe the scariest, but could you tell us something that's been kind of freaky for you?
Oh, I was actually on patrol one day training a newer deputy, and a civilian, an unrecognized voice, got on a radio and began screaming, "Trooper down." One of our DPS troopers was investigating a crash in the middle of the night in a very bad area. And the last transmission that he had is that he was going to be conducting field sobriety tests because he believed the person involved in the crash was intoxicated. Maybe 10 minutes went by, and then we just heard the civilian screaming on the trooper's radio, "Trooper down, we need help." I was pretty far away. I got there. It was an emotional drive to get there. It was a lot. That's something that's really hard to hear and listen to, and you can't get there fast enough. The trooper ended up being okay. He had some head trauma when he came back to, and it come to find out he had a medical condition while he was conducting his DWI investigation, and he went unconscious and hit his head on the ground on the way down.
Oh,
when
no.
we got there was a large crowd of people. He was down. We didn't know who was friend or foe.
Yeah.
And so it was super tense to try and get buddy aid to him and contain that scene and keep it safe until we got more resources there. But of my entire career so far, hearing any officer down across the radio or screaming for help, it just sends chills through you.
Just terrible. I mean, and that's one of those times, like you said it, you can't get there fast enough. You're driving a car that's high performance to begin with, but it seems like every second is a minute. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty amazing stuff.
The silence makes it worse over the radio when they're not responding. And so your imagination just runs wild. And like I say, we never know. You never know which traffic stop, which call, which individual make contact with. We don't, but we're always preparing for it. And
silence makes it really bad. Yeah, I would agree with that, Deputy, because, you got so doggone many, I don't know, things rolling in your head, and you're not hearing from maybe somebody who got there before you did, that he's okay, or, the area's secure. You feel you got to be right there first then. And that's a lot of pressure, really is. Gosh. Great question, DJ. Great question. Carrie 2970, Boston, Massachusetts asks, does Deputy Johnson have a nickname?
I do. I think I have a few nicknames. So JJ
ones you can share. Only ones you can share.
JJ is the predominant one.
Yep.
I've been called Double J, Triple J, Bubba. We are in Texas. And then I don't think the rest of them I can share. They all come from Deputy Ginger. So
you better not share those. Probably not. Probably not. Lee Terry asks from the state of Tennessee, are you a baseball fan?
I am a baseball fan. I'm coaching my child. Just started his first practice yesterday, and so we're back into that swing. We're doing football, of course. I have both my children signed up in a off-season flag football program just to keep them active, and then baseball season just started. We went to tryouts last week. He got selected really fast, and we had our first practice yesterday. And he's looking like he's going to be a little stud for his team.
Very good. Very good. Takes after Papa. You played football too.
I played football my whole life.
Yeah. What positions did you play, and what did you like playing the best?
I started at wide receiver, and I grew up in a very small county in Texas. And so just to be starting on a varsity team was big. But I happily started at wide receiver my entire varsity career. But I like defense. I like coming downfield and coming downhill and bring a little pain. So I like playing cornerback, safety, all the special teams where I could do some head hunting. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Friday Night Lights in Texas. There's nothing like it. Football is like big in Texas, especially high school football. I mean,
you played sick, you played hurt, you didn't give up your spot. Once you earned that starting position, nothing stopped you. Like, you did not want to give that up. It was a big deal. And my county that I grew up in had one high school, so one football team in the entire county, and the town shut down when we played football. And it got me out of it. It helped me get good grades, perfect attendance, and no speeding tickets when I was in high school, just because I was a football player.
That's very good. Very good. Live with a surprise guest, Deputy J.J. Johnson from Williamson County, Texas. If you'd like to make a phone call and say hello to him, you can. 503-420-4062 is the phone number to call. Jill Bemmy, she said, do you prefer SWAT, because you are you're on the SWAT team there, or do you like both ends? Do you like kind of the SWAT team and just working what you do right now?
I'm a high-speed person naturally, but SWAT is my passion. I could do patrol for many years, I think, but I think physically at some point, being a SWAT operator, it's a heavy task, and I just think I'm going to get all of that while I can, because at some point in my life, many, many years from now, physically, I just won't be able to do it and be efficient for my teammates. And so that is my preference. That's my drive every day. Do what I have to do to get back to SWAT and SWAT training and SWAT missions and be with my team. But that is 100% my passion.
There you go. Yep. Live with Deputy J.J. Johnson from Williamson County, Texas. How warm is it today there?
It's 82 right now. A few days ago, we were down in the 30s and 40s, and yesterday wasn't that nice, and it's nice and sunny. I pulled the hot rod out this morning before church, and it hadn't been out of the garage because the weather's been so nasty, but I'm cruising it tonight with my kids.
Now, we've had you on the show before, and there's some people since we moved over to YouTube, because this is different now, because it's a totally different audience. We've added a lot of folks here from the YouTube end. Let them know what you have with the hot rod. This is really cool.
I have a 1966 Dodge Coronet 440 with a 440 big block, bored over, big cam, loud exhausts, cutouts, headers, gears, super nice car. I got it for my kids, and it will go to them once my time's up on this earth. So they picked it out, and I got this car, and it's going to go to them. Something I wish I would have had with my dad when I was younger.
Yeah, very cool. Something that I remember a lot of guys driving to school when I was back in school, but that was such a long time ago because I'm such an old man. All right. Officer George Ishak says, have you ever planned on having Calvin Johnson join Williamson County Sheriff?
I like all the good ones. I love my agency. This is my dream agency. I think we have the greatest sheriff's office in this state. I have one of the best sheriffs that I'll probably ever work for. And so I'm always promoting this place and looking for anybody that I think will be the best. People reach out to me all the time, social media, and I'll set up ride-outs for them. I'll answer all their questions. We want the best of the best. People do not come to Williamson County just to collect a check. They are passionate about what we do. They're happy. They're proud of our leadership, and I like that. I've worked at 2 other agencies prior to Williamson County, so I have something to compare it to. And I'm very grateful that I got to come do my career here. This was my dream agency before I went to the police academy and got certified as a Texas peace officer. And so the fact that I made it home and all of these great things, I've got to experience live PD, this show right now. I'm really, really proud of the patch that I wear and the people I get to work with. JJ,
your badges say best of the best. And you talked about when you were certified as a Texas peace officer. Could you talk a little bit about what it's like to be certified as a Texas peace officer, what it takes and the whole thing involved to do that?
So the prerequisites of even getting in an academy here, Williamson County, we have our own academy. We can certify our people, our jailers. We're actually having an academy starting soon of about 20, but there's a background check. It's everything that it'll take to actually get the job. There's a background check. There's a, you got to see a therapist and do a psychological exam. You got to have references. You got to fill out this massive application. And then there's a physical test that comes with it. We have our jailers that are trying to become peace officers for Wilco that are coming to our academy. We had 50 try out, and we were going to only take 10. That top 1 or 2%, 1 to 10% is what the sheriff seeks. And I think we've expanded it up to 20 or 15 or 20 now. But they also had the type of bio and tell us about them. Not just that they wanted to protect and serve, but who are they? The badge doesn't make you who you are. You are who you are, and you can only make the badge better. And so he likes the best of the best, the top 1%, the top 10%. And so we make them go through those processes and type that really personal bio where we get to learn some of the things that they've been through. Whether it be financial, loss of life, loss of loved ones, divorces, anything outside of the job that may help us understand who they are, what they bring to the table, what they want, why they're here, what are their goals 5 years from now. And then after that, they get through that process. They have to do the chief's interview, and then ultimately the sheriff makes the final decision. So this year, I moved over in the training division, so I'm a part of that. And this command staff put me on that board to do all of these interviews, these 50 interviews.
Congratulations.
And wow. It it was taxing with a busy day to make all these interviews happen. And I remember being in these applicant spots. And so I know what it's like, and I'll never forget what it was like for me chasing my dream. But I was so proud that they trusted me to make these decisions that'll affect this agency. I mean, many, many years down the road. And so I was super humble and grateful to be a part of that. And then I get to instruct it and, be basically the instructor for these cadets for the next 8-9 months once we start our academy up.
Deputy J.J. Johnson, Williamson County, Texas, with us here by surprise, and we're grateful you joined us. Thank you. Jill Bemmy wanted to give a little bit of contrast to the temperature where you are. She's in Manitoba. She said 82. I'm jealous. It's minus 13 here, which actually is warmish for us.
Well, if she knows Texas, we could go from 82 today to 13 tomorrow. So
there you go. Courtney Bradley from Ohio says, what shirt are you wearing? I can't quite see it. That's a Williamson County polo. Yep.
This is my SWAT polo. So whenever we do anything semi-formal or we go to a training, we wear a collared shirt and for the SWAT team. So we go to visit a lot of schools. I think this past Friday on Valentine's Day, we found out about a child being bullied at school, which is something that's a phenomenon now, social media, in person still. And so our SWAT team went to that school and ate lunch with that child and just did a public display. We didn't go to bully the bully. Some of us may have liked to, because I don't like that. But we went, and this kid now has friends that were not friends, but just showed him that you're not alone, and you got people you don't even know that have your back and always will. And so we've done that a couple of times, but help this kid hang in there. I read these stories of kids being bullied on social media and at school, and it was different than when I grew up, but these kids are taking their own lives now. And sometimes they go home and their parents don't know what's wrong, but that's what it is. And so if we find out about it and we can go, this SWAT team will wear a nicer shirt so we don't look so intimidating. And we'll go do events like that.
I love that. That's the favorite thing I've ever heard on this show. And I'm not just kidding you. That is the coolest thing anyone's ever said. Good for you, man. Good for you. So the team basically shows up. They get the okay through the school. And then they come down, they grab some lunch, they sit with the kid, they hang around, and they're buddies.
Right. We'll take our Bearcat, our big armored unit, and we will get on the skids on the outside of it as if like we do when we do an actual mission. And we'll roll up to the front of the school. And at that point, they know we're there. And then we'll eat lunch with that kid. And, of course, we'll reach out to the parents and let them know, hey, we want to surprise this child. We saw something on the internet or somehow along the way we found out about this. And we want to go take the whole cafeteria. We'll bring food and make this kid have a great lunch and bring him patches and shirts and hats. And then when we leave, that kid is the most popular kid on that campus. And they don't have those problems anymore. And then we'll talk to the kids in general. Like I said, we don't go looking for the bully, but we leave a lasting impression on all those kids when we go.
Could you imagine some 12, 13-year-old kid and these 18 SWAT dudes? They're all geared up,
But you know what? That 1 hour lunch, we may not have to deal with that kid later on in life as he gets older. That one impression may fix it.
Oh yeah. Very nice. I see, and that's something really cool that Sheriff Chody's involved in that I think is absolutely phenomenal. And that's why you guys are so special. That's why. We've had tons of people on screen saying how much they miss you. And that's a lot of the reason why. Williamson County is special. It is the very best of the best. Courtney Bradley, good comment here. She loves to collect patches, okay? Hey, Deputy Johnson, I'm wondering if you could send me a canine patch. I'm trying to collect all Williamson County. What county of Texas are you from? Courtney, he works with Lieutenant Kennedy, my dear. Yep.
Yes.
He works with Lieutenant Kennedy. So you can, in fact, would you do me a favor? Because Courtney's very favorite person in the world is Lieutenant Grayson Kennedy. Would you let him know that Courtney said hello?
I will.
Very cool. There you go. So I guess she's asking if you have a SWAT team patch. If you do have one, Courtney, just contact him through Twitter and maybe see what you guys can set up, okay? Yes. I know you love to collect patches, so there you go. All right. Kerry 2970, if he could pick the top 3 departments to ride along with from Live PD, who would it be? Or maybe you pick up the 5, so you don't feel guilty. But let's say you get a chance to ride along, hang out with the guys from Live PD. Which departments, or actually which guys, I guess, let's say which guys you like to know better, or just that you like an awful lot and you hang out with?
I'll name the departments. We'll see. Williamson County's number 1.
Good man.
And so, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol.
Love them.
I enjoy watching them and listening to them and how they deal with everything. It's always busy. And then I like Richland County. I think something's always going on over there with that lieutenant. I like Richland County.
Yep, Richland County is very, very special. No joke. No joke about that. And Oklahoma handles it very different because they put the suspect in the vehicle with them and talk to him face to face. Very different. Yeah. And that's how they do it. So if you've all watched Live PD, that's just kind of how it is. Courtney Bradley expresses live what a lot of people are feeling. I'm still sad that y'all aren't out on Live PD anymore. Carrie 2970 says, cold in Massachusetts, 34 today. Send some warm weather up northeast. No. Send it northwest. Send it northwest. Then pops in with how, you could take that rig, that hot rod on a racetrack. Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
I could.
Just curious.
I could, but I won't. It's so nice. Yeah. And, it's almost 60 years old. And
it beats it up.
I don't want to beat it up. I want my kids to enjoy it with my grandkids one day, hopefully. So
that's it.
Try and take care of it.
I just got to ask you, what rear end gears are you running?
I put 355s with the lockers on there.
Okay, good. That's good. Yeah, you start running 413s or something, it's too tall. So you end up just you're 0 to 60 in no time, but then you're running about $7,000 at the freeway speed. So this doesn't really accomplish very much. All right. Keeping to your questions, doing the very best we can. You can call on the phone if you'd like to at 503-420-4062, or keep those questions coming on the screen like this one from Lee Terry. How is Lieutenant Luera doing? Tell him hello from all of us.
I will. Lieutenant Luera is actually on vacation. He was forced to take vacation, supported by his SWAT team, by his wife. And so he is actually enjoying the beaches of Hawaii. And this guy never takes off work, ever. He wears so many hats. He helps so many people. And his wife was like, we are going out of town. And
are you serious?
The entire command staff, the SWAT team, he's our team leader on the SWAT team. We were like, go, get out of here. We'll be fine. Turn your phone off. We'll hold it down. So he is in Hawaii.
So did he go? Which island did he go to? You got to tell me, man.
I don't even know, and I probably couldn't spell it even if he told me. I don't even think he knew that he was supposed to go on this trip, and that's how his wife got involved.
That sounds like him. Yep, sounds like Lieutenant Luera.
He is so dedicated to his job; it is hard to peel him off. So we told him to get out and get away.
That's a guy that if I've had to get a hold of at 10:30 Texas time, he picks it up. He's right there. He just always there. So yeah, I agree. Good for him, man. Good for him. I hope he can relax. I hope he can just kind of shut it down and just kind of just say, okay. You know what I mean?
I figured the first couple of days were hard on him, worried about, the team and how we were doing and all the guys and all the logistics that he does for our team and for the agency. But I figured after that, with no phones, he'll settle down and, just kind of focus on what's in front of him. So.
Yep. Well, if anybody out there really knows Lieutenant Luera, he's a very, very hard worker. And one of the things that he's just so dedicated to is his SWAT team. He is so dedicated to that SWAT team. Loves it. Officer George Ishak asked this question. What type of horror films do you like? Or do you like horror films? What's
I do not like
kind of movie? Tell me top 3 movies.
Okay, so I like I'm a big comedy guy. I like to laugh. I love laughing, and so I like anything that's comedic. And I like it's some of the old war movies. I get into those. I think comedy is my number 1 though, and westerns. I do like westerns.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. Yep. We, in fact, the other night, Bob and I watched an old John Wayne. It was the one where he went to go get his grandson. That was named Big Jake. Big Jake. Have you ever seen that one?
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Oh, Seriously, watch Big Jake. It's good. Especially the beginning, man. It just sets John Wayne. He's got to be in his 60s at this point. I'll tell you the very beginning. His son's on a horse, and he's being really disrespectful, and the dupe picks him up and body slams him. It's just total John Wayne. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So, yeah, folks, this is Deputy J.J. Johnson, by the kindness of his heart, pulling up here for us. So we're grateful that he's joined us. We truly are. And, you know, if you could say something to the Live PD fans. It's been a long time. I know you guys have missed being on the show an awful lot. That was a hard thing for Williamson County, folks. If you don't think it was hard on these deputies, I mean, they were ready for a break. Don't get me wrong. I mean, every time, you know, you get tired of stuff, you need a break. But they didn't want them to leave. So they've missed you. That's the honest truth. They've missed you. What would you tell the fans of Live PD Nation?
Myself, the agency, the sheriff, forever grateful. You know, a lot of people can probably relate to, like, when things are up, everyone's around. Then the minute something shifts or the weather changes and the leaves on the tree die and blow away, those people will go with it. That hasn't been the case here. Our community, the fans, Christmases, major holidays, those uplifting emails, comments online, it hasn't stopped. It has, and it is one of the best feelings in the world, because it's like, no matter the reasons why Live PD left, we knew we were doing things right. We weren't scared to do it live either and push the envelope. And so you're talking to one of the proudest people to ever wear this patch and work for this sheriff. And I think everything we've done has been right. Anything that could be better, we shift and we make it better in his direction, and it's very swift. We hate that it left. We hate the reasons why it left. We do miss it. But the fans, the community have hung in there with us. They didn't tuck and run like, all right, well, that's done, so we'll leave them. They didn't. And we're still doing our job the way we do it, with or without Live PD. We're still serving our community the way it needs to be done. And we're still doing all these public events. We're not going to stop just because they're not cameras here. But we do miss the Live PD show and the outreach that it had in itself.
You know, folks, they were only on the show 9 months. One season, but not a full season. They were in there for 9 months of one season, and they made that much of a difference. So people are still missing them. They still are requesting. You guys requested every week one of your deputies come on the show. Every single week it happens. Every week. And it just is a very big phenomenon. I've not seen it. Pasco is missed, you know, but Pasco was on the show for 3 years too. You guys have been on the show 9 months. It's amazing. And it truly was, I think, the way that you guys run, the way your department is, the joy you bring to the job. That's what really showed, you know, the way you act, the way you guys treat people. American fell in love with you. You know that? They really did. Yep.
Yeah.
Jill
It's good. It's good. And I like that it showed, like, we try and be super professional. But then we also, we're trained, like that video you opened the show with us. Like, if that happens, we're ready, and we're going to be, and no one's going to hesitate, because we're all going to go home, and we're going to be sure everybody else goes home. And so I love the perspective that it brought. It didn't show just a clip that the media went crazy with. It showed the beginning to the end. That guy who, unfortunately, we had to fight with so hard, no one provoked him. I talked very soft to him. We dealt with him like I'd want to be dealt with in that situation. We didn't demean him in any way. He made a decision, and we reacted to him to get him under control. And that's what happened. And he ended up being very, very remorseful. Weeks later, he apologized. I can't count how many times he was worried if he hurt any of us, because he couldn't recall because of the substance that he was on. And he just said, I know better than to come to Wilco and do that. But he apologized a lot for his actions, but he couldn't remember because he was so high on whatever drug that he was on.
Tell us what goes through your mind when you go through that question process, because now it wasn't super hot that day in Wilco. It was about mid 80s, early, you know, like 82, 83. And he was talking about how hot he was. That's, folks, if you don't understand the effect of opioids, that's one of them right there. They sweat. So you see that. And then, of course, more questions are asked. Then all of a sudden, things get a little bit out of control, and you guys have to act. You have to, because you're there to protect the public. Okay? What goes through your mind when all of a sudden things don't go what you think they're going to go? Meaning the door opens up on his end and he starts to freak out. What goes through your mind?
I think for most of us, just due to the training, like we're already there in our mind. The things that I'm thinking, you're not going to see on camera. If this person does this, what I'm going to do is already pre-set up in my mind, but I can still be decent and respectful. But I'm prepared, and I think everyone out there is prepared. We train this stuff. But when that switch flips, I'm thinking about my partners. I'm thinking about myself. I'm thinking about the public. And whatever we have to do to get them under control, that's necessary. There's no reason to elevate it more than what it has to be, but we're going to come in and try and stop it as fast and as swiftly as we can. That scenario is basically, it turned into more training for us. We can learn something from everything we do, and so we use it to train our deputies better, train ourselves better. But
and there was a reason that particular clip was used. And you know the reason. The reason was because of the big outcry in Williamson County about police abuse and all this other stuff. But what you got to realize, and why that's here on YouTube, is to set the story straight. That's all that happened. Not just part of it. You didn't just see a tiny part of what happened. You saw all of it. Now, does that change your mind? Maybe a little bit. Because it wasn't police brutality in any way. This was simply trying to control the situation because this man needed help. You just don't know. And I mean, the effects of drugs, he could go from there to dead in seconds. He can. Their job is to protect the public and protect him as well. That's it. Please keep.
You know who I haven't heard a complaint from?
Who's that?
It's him.
Yeah.
I bet. He's never complained. Never. And for every one person that has complained, there's 100 others that say, job well done. We are proud to have y'all out here, getting people like that out of our neighborhood and protecting our streets. And so
there you go.
It comes with the job.
And that's important, folks. That really is, because no job has everything golden. Nothing's like that. But when you get to law enforcement, you got to kind of put on almost like a turtle shell. It's got to be hard because you're going to take hits and you've got to be able to take them. You got to take them. That's the way it is. Lee Terry, Middle Tennessee. Great question. What's your favorite thing to instruct on?
Anything practical, anything hands-on, advanced patrol tactics, which is where we're taking new hires or our cadets, and we're making them make a high-risk traffic stop where it's not your typical traffic stop where you just walk up and introduce yourself. Something's pushed us to get extra units before we even make the traffic stop. We're calling them out at gunpoint, compliant, non-compliant situations. But force on force training is probably one of my favorites. It's probably one of the most practical. What is this person going to do with this inoculated stress before we push them out to our streets and our citizens? How are they going to react once they get punched in the mouth? So I like that kind of training. You can't get that just in a classroom setting alone, and we do it a lot. But I like the practical. I like making cops better. I like thinking. I have this saying that we use on our SWAT team: play chess, not checkers. And so we're always trying to tweak it to make them think. Be smart about it. You can be as strong as you want to be, but be smarter than what we're dealing with. And I love stuff like that. And you get to see people. You get to see their confidence build a little bit. We watch them turn into Wilco deputies right in front of us. When they walk in our classroom, in our scenarios, they leave different every day. And it just says we're doing our job right.
Yeah.
And we're always trying to change up things and never get stagnant. And so we have to do it all. And so I take the good with the bad. It's like the job. We all want to get on the job and drive fast and catch the bad guy, but there's a lot of stuff in between that comes with it, and the reports and someone stepped in somebody's yard and crushed a plant. They're upset about it. We have to deal with all of it, but it's the same way in the training division. I don't enjoy all the training because some of it's a little slow speed to me, but I take pride in doing it. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to be the best at it. And so I just kind of take that approach with it. I like being outside. I like being hands-on. I like driving. I like driving fast.
Yes, you do.
I like those kind of trainings.
66 440 begged him. I would think so. Yeah, that's I had a 440 Challenger, so I know.
Oh, yeah.
Great motors. Gosh, those things are awesome. DJ, man, you coming in so strong today, man. Great questions. Why did you want to be in law enforcement? And how long have you been with Williamson County?
I've been with Williamson County since November of 2018. I've been in law enforcement since 2012. I did my first ride out, and in 10 minutes of being in the car, there was a pursuit coming right at us. And we got in, I'm pretty sure I was breathing heavy as if I had ran a mile, but I was just sitting in the passenger seat of an old Crown Vic. And from that minute on, I knew I wanted to do it. I moved down to the Austin area and put myself in college, and I did a ride out with Williamson County. And from that minute, I knew I want to do it, and I want to do it here at Wilco. And so I put myself through the basic peace officer course here at Wilco and graduated. And it took me some time, but I finally made it back to where I wanted to be a peace officer, and that's here at Wilco. So I'm living my dream, and I'm working at my dream agency. And I think that's rare.
Good. I think that's very rare. That's a goal and something that worked out for you, but it worked out because of one thing: hard work. And the Lord's blessing right there. Don't forget the Lord's blessing. Very important. Courtney Bradley, if I could be like y'all, I would be 100%, but I can't because I'm autistic. One day, I'd like to be an honorary deputy. 100%, I'd like to be an honorary deputy. It's really cool.
That's
honorary
doable.
Deputy.
It's doable.
Oh, Courtney, there you go. It's doable to be an honorary deputy there. Folks, you may sound, sometimes the words come out a little weird. I have a delay that's in here that's about a half second, maybe quarter second. It's awful. I hate it. But if I push this button, then I'm a half a second, about a quarter second behind after I speak. So there you go. So if you do ever, wonder, why does he say that word? I don't get it. That didn't come out right. That's why. I'm learning to hear and speak differently here. Jill Bemmy, what's your favorite part of being on patrol?
Mine is the lack of monotony. I get a lot of joy out of doing it. I still go out and run a lot of traffic for special events that we have where we have a lot of crashes on a certain road. We keep up with all of that, and if it gets to a certain point or we have one or two fatalities in a pretty short time span, we'll be more present in that area and make a bunch of contacts. Whether they be tickets or warnings, it doesn't matter, but we're going to get out and stop some cars and make contact and educate people. So the part of that is you never know what people are going to say, what they're going to do to get out of a simple ticket or a traffic stop. So I still enjoy that. I laugh a lot on the job, a lot. Because every time you think you've seen it or heard it all, something new pops up.
And it's crazy because, first of all, here are some tips for those of you who may want to think of drinking alcohol and still getting behind the wheel of your vehicle. Or if you have a lot of drugs in your vehicle or illegal drugs or someone else's drugs. Okay, number one. Check to make sure all of your lights work on your car. Number two, make sure that your license is legal, okay? Make sure you have a license plate that has a proper tab on it and it's yours and everything belongs to you. Make sure that your windows aren't over tinted. Okay? Don't do stupid things, folks. My goodness, you give them reasons to pull you over, then they open the trunk and guess what? Oh, hello. It does make you wonder. It's because he's like, well, this guy's got a license plate light out. I'm just going to let him know. And it just a warning ticket. Just a warning thing. Probably not even a ticket, just a warning. Guy takes off. Now it's a felony because in Texas, if you run from a peace officer, it's a felony. Oh, my gosh. It blows my mind, JJ. It blows my mind. It's like make better choices, folks. It's not hard. It really isn't. So anyway, we're going to wrap this up with Deputy Johnson. I'll have a lot of stuff going on here. I've got to leave Lee Terry here with a good one. There's actually two questions I want to still ask. Lee Terry, do you all still have the chicken wing eating contest and who's the best?
I don't know who the best is. I know we have some contests coming up, and I saw the sheriff's office page today post. I think we're about to be shaving heads, and so we're looking for some volunteers. And it's for a benefit. It's for a donation. And I forgot. I think a few deputies signed up last year, and it was a live event, and they
St.
shaved their
Baldrick's?
freshman head off. Yes, St. Baldrick's. That's what it is.
Okay. Listen, I'll tell you what. I'll make a deal with you. Okay. We're not in great financial position right now. We're not. You know that. But I believe in giving back to cancer because my brother has fought for 9 years now. Talk to Sheriff Chody. If you all want to do a long telethon here where we help you raise money for St. Baldrick's, I'll do it.
Done.
Okay? I'm serious.
Done.
I'll do it.
Yep.
You let me know who all will come on. We'll make a goal. We'll make a goal of like $3,000. Okay. I helped Danny Brown with this 2 years ago. Okay. I'll shave my head if you get to $3,000 total. Okay. And I'll jump in the ring with y'all. So seriously, if you want a telethon thing, just give me a few, 5, 3, 4, whatever. We'll make it happen. Okay.
Okay. I'll pass
All
it on. I will talk to him Tuesday and let him know about that. So
Oh,
thank you so much for having me on. And
You really will? I didn't really. I was just kidding. I was just trying to be nice.
I will.
I'm just kidding.
I'll let you know our sheriff don't sleep. He's always moving. He's not stagnant ever.
I know. But I will do that. I really will. I helped Danny Brown out with that a few years ago. And you know, I asked St. Baldrick's for a shirt. I did. I asked him for a shirt. I was up for 50 hours helping raise money for them. They didn't send me a shirt. I was like, what the heck? Give me a dang. How much does a shirt cost? All right. Last question. Carrie Note 2970. And Carrie's asked some wonderful questions from the state of Massachusetts. Is this too personal, but do you officers get drug tests on a daily basis just in case you inhale any smells or searches or touch anything, from your, investigations?
No, we don't get drug tested on a daily basis. If there's a predicate to be tested, then it'll happen. So if we come in contact, being on the SWAT team, we go in a lot of dope houses, a lot of chemicals, a lot of stuff. But if somehow there's a proof of any unknown substance, you're going to be treated right there on the scene. We're going to take care of ourselves and our people immediately, because if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't help anybody else. So there's been instances where people have come in contact or their glove is ripped, and they're treated and transported from that scene and just take the precautionary steps to be sure that our people are good. So, but it's not on a daily basis. But if there's an outcry or one of us sees something like, hey, you touched that, we don't know what it is yet, we haven't tested it, then we start that protocol immediately to be sure our people are good.
The best of the best.
Yes.
Williamson County Deputy J.J. Johnson, and he shows it. He does, because he's humble. He takes all those photos of everybody else, never takes it of himself. One very selfless man. Can we see your hot rod now?
You definitely can.
Can we really?
Let's do it.
All right, we're going to go see JJ's hot rod. Let's go do that.
Let me show you Sheriff Chody's hot rod real quick.
Really?
There's Sheriff Chody's. The Charger.
Look at that.
It's my patrol car.
That's nice. Oh, with the push bar. Oh, hello.
This is my 66.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, look at those rims. Oh man, that is gorgeous. Look at that. J.J. Johnson's 440.
It's in pretty good shape to be so old.
66. Look at that. What's really cool about that, being an old car guy myself, and I'm having a Mopar myself, and having old Mopars, look at the trim, the spears on the side. Everything's
I love
so
the lines
straight.
on this car.
They're so straight. This was Dodge's answer to the Chevelle, folks. This was their response to the Chevelle. And you're going to see a monster motor here that gets about 2 miles to the gallon, but it's so stinking fun to play with. There it is.
There's my board over a 440 big block.
Look at that. Oh, man, that is beautiful. JJ's rig. Look at that. That is a whip, dude. Holy cow, that thing's fast. Look at that. Look at that. How much is it board over? Is it 30, 40, 60?
40.
40. Okay. Very good. Wow. Thanks for letting us see that. That was a joy. That was an absolute joy. Wow. Deputy J.J. Johnson, Williamson County, Texas, the very best of the best. Lots of people drooling over your car, and they should be. It's a nice car. I bet your kids are excited. All right. Right there. That's how we do it. This is how we do it. Sorry. All right. All right,
Well,
Carrie.
thank y'all for letting me share some things that make me happy with y'all.
My
from
pleasure.
My job, my car. We are grateful here at Wilco for you, for the fans, for the people, for the questions, suggestions. I love it. And so I'm glad that people are still sticking with us and still supporting us, even though we're not there. But don't ever count this agency out or this sheriff. So we never know what the future holds.
There's a reason they're the best of the best. Let him know. We'll call it a YouTube-a-thon, okay?
There we go.
JJ, that was Deputy J.J. Johnson for Williamson County, Texas. Thank you so much for joining us. God bless you, my friend. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thanks.
All right. J.J. Johnson, my friends. That was him, the real guy. Doesn't he look good? Doesn't he? He looks so nice there. Isn't live PD chat fun now? Huh? Is this okay? Can we do this on Sundays? You want to do this on Sundays? Let me know. We'll do it. Okay? We'll do it. Just hit me up on my Twitter or Facebook page. My Twitter page is Leo's Coast to Coast, not all one word. And my Facebook page is my name, George Smith. No, I'm kidding. Larry L. Dio. That's my sense of humor. Maybe not the funniest, but it's better than some, I guess. Anyway, folks, I want to thank you for watching the show. I want to thank you. If you can help us out with the GoFundMe campaign, you'll see it on Twitter and Facebook. We do desperately need the help. I don't want to lose our home. I just don't. And the unfortunate thing here is this is my ham radio, and I love this. Ham radio is how I relax from taking care of my brother, taking care of my wife, my family, doing all this stuff. And I have to sell this now. So, because things have to be paid. So, if you know me and you know how much that means to me, you know how serious it is. So, if you can help, take a look on the GoFundMe. If you can't help, we're friends anyway. It's okay. Let me know if you want to keep doing the shows on Sunday. We'll call it Live PD Chat. We'll see about bringing guests in. Can't guarantee it'll be every weekend, but I can tell you that we'll do our very best, okay? Any other comments here from the show, except for Barrels of Fun? Great sign of the Sheriff Chody sign there, right there in JJ's yard. That was pretty cool. I want one. I want to put one in my yard here in Oregon. People would like freak. They go, huh? I'm going to write in that name, Chody. Oh, well. This is running long. I don't want to be cut off of YouTube for being too long, so we better skedaddle. See you on Saturday. Hey, Saturday, we got a big show. Again, a really big show. I don't know how I cut my lip over here. No idea. It just happened. It's like all of a sudden I'm going, how'd that happen? I'm looking in the mirror. You ever do that? I do that sometimes. Anyway, we do have a big show coming up on Saturday, and I hope you guys can join us. There is some big stuff coming up to the shows as well, and we're very excited about to show you about. I'm really excited about Kevin Lawrence coming. It's taken a long time to get Kevin, and we're very honored to have him. But next week, we come with a real big one. Captain Bill Burt from Missoula County, Montana, another office that is off the show, but maybe coming back, okay? He'll be joining us next Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So please join us for that show for Captain Bill Burt from Missoula, Montana. Until then, to my moderators, Jill, Lee, I don't think Rebecca's here today. So Jill and Lee, thank you very much. Lee and Jill. See, now I've made it both twice. Your name came first. For all of you that joined us, thanks for being here. Officer George, Jill, Carrie 2970, Courtney, Jill. I already said Jill, sorry. All you guys, Karen, everybody, thanks for being here. Share the show. If you have people or friends that like Live PD, let them know about us. We're here to have a good time, have some fun, make some friends, talk about what's going on with our favorite program. So, see you next Saturday with Officer Bill Burt from Missoula County. And if you like the live PD chat, let's talk about it. We'll see about making it a regular thing. Until then, be good people. God bless you. Goodbye, everybody.